I came from nothing. I look at bodybuilding as you become an artist, I think. A lot of people transform themselves by looking in the mirror and they see what ultimately they can achieve. They chisel their bodies to be their absolute best. Back in the day, I loved to train. I started at 18, I found that the gym was a stress reliever for me. And what greater thing, I was able to develop my body at the same time, and then I was able to get in competitive bodybuilding. And I did well at it. And if I didn't do well, I probably wouldn't have stayed with it. But I loved to train. And I didn't bring phones into the gym. It's about hitting the gym and working out to build your body beyond what the norm is. I've overachieved what I actually thought it would, or what was possible, coming from a small town in Massachusetts. Went to Olympia and I got dusted. I got second to last. I was 15 out of 16 and I was like, should I quit? I was so devastated. I remember saying to my wife at the time, am I just not good? I never thought I'd be Mr. Olympia, I'll be honest. I thought that my body would only go so far. My goal was to be a certain weight. When I started, I said I want to be 240 and I would cut it off at 240. But what I realized as I got closer to competing, the competing side pushed me to be bigger, because I figured, why stop now? Why waste the ride that I've been having, and I'm going to go all the way to the top. Consider a bodybuilder an artist, but I would also consider someone that goes in the gym and builds their body to look like a superhero. If you really think deep into that, it would be a type of artist would actually do that. You're creating a vision of something that you consider the ultimate, and people craft their bodies to be what their ultimate look is set out to be. I challenged myself every day when I went to the gym and said, okay, can I be stronger this week? Can I do this movement and feel better about it from the week prior? What challenges can I face? Was every day being able to look at myself in the mirror and see what I'm building. We're gonna crush it. To get to the big level, to Mr. Olympia, that's a tough one. You have to have a strong mentality to be able to maintain being the champ. You have a lot of negative when you're a target and people will criticize you. You have to know how to handle it and not shout back and not be consumed by the negative comments, and surround yourself with the positive things, but not the over positive things. So if you're someone in your team hyping you up and telling you, don't worry about it, you got this, it's easy for you. You need sometimes people like, hey man, keep working harder, keep doing this and keep improving. And I was very, very good at that. I would ask and evaluate the people closest to me, say, okay, what can I do to improve? Or what do I need to improve? Where was the closest competitor exposing my physique? And that's what continued to make me work harder. And I really enjoyed every day.
I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm going to take home my first Sandow trophy. I've been training for so many years. This is my destiny, and I think it's going to happen tonight. This was the final chapter in my book, man, to win the Mr. Olympia competition. I've been training for 15 years for this.
And then your concern is, okay, I never want to lose this high, right? You train every day in fear of like, okay, I need to stay ahead of everybody else because now I'm at the peak. That was the hardest part for me because I always felt the pressure of being Mr. Olympia and how people perceived that. Meaning I felt like I always needed to be presentable, I needed to have a certain amount of size, I needed to appear the next year better than before, or at least as good. And peaking the body was very difficult, but remember, you're still traveling, you're still representing the business. '08, Olympia comes and I get second. I lost the title, gave me a little off, and that just pissed me off to the max, and got a whole new revamp, the whole thing, and I just went at it. You don't realize what you have until it's gone. I came back and won the title, probably the best title I ever won in dominating fashion, where I just walked out on stage and demolished everyone. Fear of losing was what drove me more than anything. So I think that fear is a big part of why you continue to work harder and be better.
I've been coming here, and getting second all these times, and it seemed like everyone told me, you're wasting your time, you're not going to win, and I persevered and trained harder and came back every year and came back stronger, and here I am, this is the day that no one thought they'd see. I broke the trend. That's what it's all about. When I walked out on stage, and I remember days before on Hani looking at me saying, "Holy shit." I walked out on stage that night, for sure the greatest moment of my life, winning the Mr. Olympia. Came out there, I did that fucking quad stomp, and it's like the place went fucking crazy, man.